And welcome back to Lair. I'm Sulk and here to bring you our next build. Today I'll be building another kit from the World War Toons line, and this will be the Panzer III. Again, just like the Sherman, every kit needs a friend, or foil, however you want to put it, and what better way to add to the collection than will be the Panzer III. And can't wait to get started, and let's get into it. Starting things off, we have the front of the box here. So once again, kit made by Meng, kit number WWT005, and German medium tank, the Panzer III. Just like the Sherman, it has a rotatable turret and I'll never get this word right. Elevatable gun barrel, and looks again glue or cement free and quick instructions. But just like the Sherman, most likely I will be gluing a lot of stuff to put it into place properly. On the side of the box here, you have, once again, the different types of paints that they recommend using. Side, just another picture of the tank. A little bit of side profile, and looks like the front of it, the front profile. Another picture here. On the back, once again, you have the Panzer III German medium tank, and the list of the actual specifications of the tank itself, and I won't be going into that because, again, better people have all the knowledge. And nice little shots of the tank and the World War Toons. So let's crack her open. So it's a nice little simple instruction manual with, looks like 7 pages of instructions with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 different steps. But again, just like the previous one, there's a lot of different components to each step, so they kind of just mix everything together. Because it comes with 4 different sprues, 1 little chassis bit here, 2 tank tracks, and it looks like these little, I don't know, rubber O-rings or seals, not too sure where to go yet, and a tiny little water slide decal sheet, sorry. Again, hopefully it takes about, well, I'm assuming roughly the same time as the Sherman, but again, it looks like a little bit bigger if you just compare the hulls to it, like compare the hulls. So probably has a lot more detail and might take a little bit longer. But let's get into it. And we're back, so let's just jump right into our close-ups. So first thing I'm going to say is this Panzer has a lot more detail than the Sherman actually has. First thing you're going to notice, it has little armor plates that cover the tracks. And you can see in the middle panel here, it looks slightly dented in, and it looks like an aesthetic choice because of both sides is dented in the same way. The only problem I have with these little tracks is that it does cover up a lot of detail from behind it. So if you move the track, or move the cover plates, and behind one side you'll see pretty much spare wheels, a shovel, and looks like another fuel tank of some sort. On the other side, not really much more detail, but looks like just some more tools. On the front of the tank, you could actually see has a nice little machine gun turret here, but unlike the Sherman, it doesn't really move. Has two shackles in the front, so I guess for towing or pulling things out. And you can see the driver's hatch and its co-pilot's hatch. And on the back of it, you can see two more rear hatches and some wiring that kind of wraps around it. So more details added. And at the back of it, you see another tank, or like a storage tank, not an actual physical tank, and a lot of studs. Moving up to the turret does the barrel does move up and down a little bit, and you can see a little machine gun port beside it. Also, on the top of the turret is actually armored around it as well. So these armor panels can be somewhat easily removed, depending if you want to glue them down or not. But personally, I didn't really glue them down because if you want to paint the details underneath it, because underneath the turret's panels, you can see two more hatches on the side, on top of the top hatch. So here are all the tanks side by side. So you have the Tank Tiger, you have the Panzer, and the Sherman. So it kind of sits pretty much like size-wise in between the two. So going on to my likes and dislikes of it, I really love how much attention to detail they actually put into this model kit. So like all the actual wires, extra bits, shovels, everything like that, it really adds a lot of like I would say flair to the model. So like compared to like the sides of the Sherman, there's not really much. But if you look inside behind all the armor plating, there's a lot more detail on the top of the tank. Also little things like the front shackles, these like front little grill, everything like that. You can tell they put a lot of effort into it. And again, it took me about, I think I mentioned, about an hour and a half to finally complete. And I'm just going to move right into my dislikes about it because the reason it took so long, a lot of it's actually off camera. Because I was just getting frustrated by, again, giant hands to tiny model. Even with tweezers and glue, putting together some of the like little handles and everything onto all these different hatches. Like that's a double-edged sword because it has all this extra detail onto it, but putting it together, you gotta have a lot of finesse. Like I started to like really lose my I started losing my shit when I like actually putting together all these little grab handles on the top of the turret. That alone off camera took me about another 45 minutes of me just swearing, getting frustrated, and I wouldn't say I was gonna give up, but it was not the most fun thing to put together. But again, if you are more articulate, you might not have these issues. Another thing is you might want to leave these armor side plates on because when you take them off and you want to try to roll the thing, these tracks don't necessarily sit too well onto the wheels here. So if you kind of roll a few times, okay, right now the plate does keep it together, so it rolls nice and smooth. But once you take the plate off and you try rolling the tank, these tracks will literally just go flying off. I think due to that is because the front and rear wheels use a polycap system. So when you put it together, it doesn't necessarily use friction to keep it together. But these polycaps, I guess the tolerances in them aren't the greatest, and it doesn't stay put together. But all in all, if you just leave it like and set it, forget it, perfectly good. But you want to try rolling it around like the Sherman rolled around perfectly fine. This, on the other hand, just I don't want to touch it as much. But if you have I think if you use a glue trick to actually eliminate the tolerances, it would actually be a lot better. But again, these are model kits, not actually toys, so leave it on the shelf and you're good to go. But all in all, it goes so well with the rest of the line, and I can't complain too much because again, it looks end result, it looks amazing. Well, that just about wraps it up for me. Again, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification to keep up to date with all our videos. Also, don't forget to follow us on all the social medias. Our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are all up and running. Also, leave a comment because I love hearing from you guys and love hearing your feedback on all what we're building. Again, also check out our website at conquestlayer.com to look at our merch and everything a little bit helps support the channel. Until next time, I'm Sulk and have fun building, y'all. Laters.